This is your first time?
I was like, what
I
are
mean,
we
it feels
ready
like it's
for?
yours.
Like, why? What are we doing?
You good?
I'm tired.
It's Monday, bro.
I'm tired.
I know. I'm just saying it's Monday. I mean, we got so much more week ahead of us.
Oh, yeah. Woo! So excited.
Yeah. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to your show. I am your host, Dean. This is my partner.
Fernando.
And we're going to entertain you for the next hour, answering your questions. We also have Facebook thing we have to do, and of course we have more DSP tips today, brought to us by the fine folks at Arc Audio. So we got a full show, of course, and the goal of the show is to answer as many questions as possible. But before we get into that, let's just do this right off the top, like so we don't forget, which is we do this little thing called the 12 Volt Clean Wire Club, and every week Fernando scours the page and tries to find the coolest looking stuff ever. I saw this one and was like, yeah, like because when we were doing a car the other day, and I said the only way that like you could do that amount of wire would be to do like this,
Yeah.
which is take the whole interior out of the car, put all this fun and excitement into it, and that would be it. And this is that. It's pretty funny that this showed up like the next day. This is fantastic. Who did this?
So whoever shared, I don't know, but
somebody shared it.
Share it. That was Robert Share It. That he shared it, and Revealing Sound. That was the one that did the work because he shared that page. So I'm just gonna say shout out to Revealing Sound, and thank you, Robert, for sharing that picture. I don't know if he works there or he just shared that picture,
or this
but
could
that's
be his car. Either way, looks fantastic.
I like it because yellow power, Yeah,
everything
is labeled. It's nice.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's very
cool.
very excessive. Yeah, it's pretty nice. And of course, this section is brought to you by the fine folks
at Tsunami,
as well as T-Spec. You can find them both at T-Spec and or Tsunami at online, or head over to metroonline.com. You can find them all there. Thank you so much for them for being a sponsor of the show. Of course, we love using their products. So let's just do this so we can pretend like we're right on point tonight. This first segment is brought to you by Focal-America. You can find Focal Inside, which is a plug-and-play solution for most of the cars on the road. What we're spotlighting here today is the new Tesla plug-and-plays that's built off of the Flax series. However, you have many to choose from. You can head over to focal-america.com and or Focal Inside and see if they make something for your vehicle. Ooh, yeah. All right. Let's dig into it. How's everyone's weekend? Did you have a good Easter?
We have an amazing Easter. That was awesome. I have to share some pictures on the Facebook.
Yeah. 67. It's sunny. It's SoCal. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Am I
the
only one here? I don't see any other messages. Oh, well. No, you were just early.
Yeah. How was Easter?
I worked all day. Literally from the moment I woke up until like 10:30.
So that was good because that was productive.
It sucked. I mean, it was highly productive. Everything that I needed to get ready for you guys to have content for the next 2 weeks is up and ready to go.
Yeah.
But I took breaks throughout the day. Like Haley went on an Easter egg hunt in the morning, and then we did our live show at night. But no, it was like combination of first, the quarter started today, and then going to Canada, and then just so it was like I told the girls, I said, listen, I'm gonna get up in the morning, I'm just gonna work until I'm done, and it was like all day long. God, it sucked. So it was just a day. I think it's good. 75, mostly sunny in East Tennessee. Mostly sunny is okay. I just got here. Oh, that's good.
Well, hey.
That's better. Thought you said 5 o'clock this morning. 6 o'clock, 6:30 is the Monday show. 5 o'clock is the Saturday show. But have no fear, this Saturday there will be no show because I'll be in Canada, so we won't be doing a show because I don't know what I'll be doing. A friend of mine has some property in the mountains in Sunbright, Tennessee. Beautiful country. Well, I bet. We're talking about going back there this year. That's Saturday, yeah. Fang, this is terrible, man. I understand what they're saying, but man, that sucks. It sucks not having the right tools. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
What's up from Vegas?
What up?
I thought AutoZone might rent those, but then you have to have an AutoZone around, right? Yeah.
AutoZone?
And there's Ada. He's like a virgin. Touched for the very first time. Crack that whip. Give your packs. Yep. We got Devo. We got Madonna. Thank you. You're welcome.
What up, Giovanni? What's up, buddy?
Yeah, he doesn't have a picture. He's not cool. Mr. Car Audio Chris.
Car Audio Chris? That doesn't sound right.
AKA Phantom Chris. AKA Mr. Sprinkly. Thanks for calling me out on the live stream last night. Only hugs, Fernando, in the future. None for you.
Love you, buddy. I love you.
It's fine. You wouldn't let me wear your hat, so you know.
Dude, nobody can touch that hat.
I know.
That's crazy.
Did it for my niece. She was okay. Oh, very nice.
Yeah, very nice.
There you go.
You're a cool uncle.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Hey, Eddie. Saludos.
Say, what was that? Oh, yeah, it was like a wiring superhighway. For sure. Yeah, with their lights on. It was like brake lights and headlights.
I like it. Yeah,
it was pretty cool.
Pretty cool, right?
Hey, look who it is, Christian. Like, we haven't, he just left. He literally just left. So.
He hasn't left. He's right there
He's
watching.
probably still in the parking lot watching. Yeah. We asked him to come on the show. He said no.
Yeah.
So, sucks to be him.
He don't want to be more popular than you, man.
I mean, I feel like Christian is riding the pony for sure, man.
Yeah. He's very popular.
Do you have any three-way set up videos and with the use of pods or some? No. No, we don't have anything that I could think of like setting them up or anything like that. I mean, just putting them in cars and stuff.
That's it.
The pods one. We did the pods. It's probably on Instagram. I know we did that one that was on Instagram where they got the pods from Europe. Like Germany made the pods for that specific speaker. Apparently they're available over there. Like you can order all kinds. Like we put some Morel pods in. One guy. This was back when Pioneer had like Elite series, not Elite. What was it? Was it not the Elite? That's the Home Premier. They had this three-way set with these really nice fours, and Crutchfield like blew them all out. And he went to Home Depot and found a yard lamp that was, those metal like outside yard lamp that was the right size pod. And then he took that and turned that into his pods for his. We installed them, but yeah, it was so. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool.
What's that, Donnie?
All the way from that northern area. What's up, Elias?
From Michigan.
He's not from Michigan. He's from Ohio or some Illinois or some crappy place like that. I want to come on the show. No, not going to happen. Yeah.
No?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you should guys do a show together.
We should do a show
Let me
together.
know so I don't come.
Ow, that hurts. What's up, Dan? It's funny. I think Dan put up a picture the other day. He was doing some video editing or something. He's like, I'm doing this. I'm like,
don't do that.
I'm like,
it's a trap.
I'm like, and it's like every day. Oh, it's like put up a thing. I'm doing, you're doing car stereo. I'm doing this.
Hey, man, everybody wants to
I'm just picking
stuff
on him. I just thought it was funny.
Same.
Static coming and going. Mike dying? I don't think so. I don't know. I will give it a go.
Yeah, so we do ways on a factory, in the factory cars. The car that it comes with the factory three ways, like Toyotas, Tundras, Ford Mustangs. But we don't have videos, doing A-pillars or crazy things like that. So we have plenty of videos of doing that. You can search for Toyota, Tundra, Ford Mustang, and I think that's the one that comes in my mind right now with the three-way set.
I mean, we did a three-way set.
Tundra,
the
F-150 with the VO system,
the Unleashed VO system.
So those things we have.
We just did a Tundra. I mean, we put a three-way set of K2s in the Tundra Friday and Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah. So
powered off of the Moscone
8
810.
810. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Very nice.
Hold on.
I'm holding.
Are expensive speakers like Brax actually worth the money?
Every single penny. Yeah.
So he's not wrong, but
Well, I mean,
so here's
depends,
right.
right?
No, it doesn't depend. Are they worth the money? 100%. However,
For who?
exactly, you
There
have
you
to
go.
see value in it. If you don't see value in it, then no, they're not worth it to you. So there's certain things in your life that you'll look at and go, man, I ain't gonna pay that for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's just how it is, right? I mean,
And I'm just gonna come up the story of you holding that specific tweeter.
oh yeah, holding the Brax
And
tweeter,
a guy
$3,000
outside
tweeter.
$3,000 tweeter, and the guy is like, it must be the loudest tweeter,
It's like,
and it's like it's not.
No.
So it's like, so why is the cost that much money?
Yeah,
So,
and there again, he's a loudspeaker guy. I'd never see the value in that speaker at all.
he would never see that one. Yeah.
It's like, is a Lamborghini worth it? I mean, to some people, it's like the pinnacle of like sports cars. Other people, it's like, I just need a Corvette, and that's the pinnacle of sports cars.
I just need a G35.
Other people are like, I would never spend my money on that, or they're like, I'm just going to get a Tesla Plaid because it's cheaper than all of those and it's fast. So I don't know, or you got the guys that just buy the old 5.0 Mustangs and I can blow away everything on the road with my. I don't know, it's one of those. You have to see the value in it. If you don't, it'll never matter. You'll never do it. I mean, that's where I think that phrase, if you have to ask, came from. Because, I would love a Macintosh home audio system. Like, I've always wanted one. I know it's not like, there are things that are better, but it doesn't matter. To me, that's what I've always wanted. I want a Mac home stereo. At some point, I'm hopefully going to have one. But if I never get one, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. It's just, I would love to have that. I also go, that's a lot of money. I don't know if I want to put, but to me, that is
you see the value in that.
I would love to have it. I think that's like,
so you
fantastic.
would spend the money.
I would spend the money.
There you go.
I don't have the money, but I would spend the money.
Oh, maybe next year.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah.
But anyways,
because now we have the sponsor of the show.
No, we don't. Yeah, it's right there. It's got nothing to do with that. But anyways, yeah. So there's that. All right, what do we got? All right, we're gonna go for. Let's get some quick questions up. So
I'm reading.
No, okay. I'm just gonna throw one.
Go
up
for
here.
it. Man.
How do I connect a monoblock to my Q30 Infinity? Please explain. Regardless of the car, you have criteria that has to be met. So you have to be able to get a power wire to the battery, right? It's self-explanatory. So there has to be a fuse within 18 inches of that battery, okay, as close to the battery as possible. That fuse's purpose is to protect the wire while it runs through the car. It's not to protect the amplifier, okay? You have to have a ground. That ground has to be grounded to some part of the car that is a good ground plane. Seat bolt is not a good ground plane. So factory ground point is a really nice place to connect it to. Then we have to connect to the sound output of the speaker, and that's the tricky part. How do we get sound into the amplifier? So more than likely it's a QX30. There's probably some kind of a premium audio system in there. Uh-huh. And that premium audio system may have a subwoofer. That's going to be the first place you're going to look, is the subwoofer, okay? So you're going to go to the speaker. It's going to have a positive negative terminal on it, and that positive negative terminal is going to be what you're going to check the input of the amplifier to. If the amplifier has high level input, you're going to connect it to that, and that'll be great. Now, that's the easy part, okay? The hard part is figuring out if the car has fake engine noise or noise canceling. Those are things that you're going to have to test for, or you're going to have to go onto the forums for somebody else has done one and said, yeah, man, I got this rumble when I started up my car, and as I'm driving, and I had to go with this hitting menu and turn this stuff off. That's all stuff that is secondary to it. That's going to be car specific. That's the stuff I can't help you with because it's car specific. And then you have the remote turn on. Now, most modern amplifiers use some form of DC offset or current sensing or signal sensing to turn on the amplifier, they do not need a remote turn on. So really, if you were to summarize all of this, you have power and ground, you have connection to the speaker, and then output to the sub that you've used. And the hardest part of all of this is going to be finding a signal that actually works. So there you go. What's up, guys? Watching your older 911 videos for inspiration on my next car audio build. Thank you for the content. All right. This will be the last one that we're going to hop over and do the question.
The Q-tip.
Yeah. My
Quick
Alpine 209 WRA in the 2016 Sierra has started to have volume fade in and out and fade front to back lately. Is it toast?
Fade.
It sounds like there's something wrong with like maybe the amplifier.
Okay.
It's in a Sierra, so
Sahara and the Jeep.
Yes, Sierra, Sahara.
Yeah.
Tomato. Anyways,
yeah.
It could be water damage on the back of the amplifier, because on the back of those, that would, like if water got down. So the WRA isn't really a protected radio. They just give you the cool little winglets to make it, which you can reuse those winglets on another radio.
Mm-hmm.
The best bet would be to check it out or take it out and then check the backside of the amplifier and see if you have any corrosion. Around the heatsink area. Mm-hmm. That could be shorting out that internal amplifier. If not, just may need to send it back, get it repaired. However, at that point, probably,
get another one.
Yeah. But I would definitely think about doing that. All right, let me hide this current comment and let me go over to here. And I'm going to do this and go there and go like this and go, hey, it's that time again for quick tips with DSP, brought to you by the fine folks at Arc Audio. Let me kick that guy on and we will switch over to camera number 2, which is button number 4, because why would it be anything else? One of the things that you need or you might run into is a problem with turn on and off pop when adding a DSP into other amplifiers, whether you're integrating into the stereo or doing something with iData and or doing something with a regular preamp section. So having a DSP that has the ability to go in and do turn on and off delay is pretty cool. And well, Arc Audio has that built into their DSP software. The nice thing with the Arc Audio software is that it's the same on all amplifiers. So you can talk about one and it will apply to all of them. Isn't that wonderful? So what we are is to get to this pane, if you happen to have like a Blackbird or something like that, come over, launch the software, come over to the tool little gear icon right here. Gears,
the settings.
It's settings, but gears. Okay. And the first pane that comes up on the left-hand side is turn on. Now there's 4 turn-ons here. We're going to talk about each one. But before we talk about each one, let's talk about how we're going to enter the numbers. So right now, we'll highlight the top one, which is set for 5 seconds. If I enter the number 0 and hit enter, it'll go to the lowest default setting, which is 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you can't do 0 seconds. So the lowest default is 3. So if you want to, it's set for 5 out of the box, but if you feel like you want it to turn on faster for whatever reason, then you can do it to its fastest, which is 3 seconds. Now, if you go back into it and you say, I want it to be 10 seconds, now it's 10 seconds, okay? Now, what do the 4 turn-ons actually control? And this is the cool thing, because they're unique to Arc, and they're actually pretty badass. All right, the first one is amp turn-on delay. Now, because we're talking about DSP, the DSP is going to be what is turning on first, okay? And then it's going to turn on its secondary things. In this case, the first thing it can turn on is the amplifier, whether it be external, internal, the internal amplifier, because this is a Blackbird, so this is going to be internal amplifier is going to turn on. And we could say, all right, my DSP turns on, and then it's going to, right now it says 10 seconds, so it's going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's going to turn on the amplifier. Okay, so that's delaying the turn on for the internal amplifier, which is cool. Secondly, we have turn on out delay. So turn on out delay is used for turning on, let's say, the sub amp or secondary amplifiers in the system. Now, this is where it gets cool, because when the DSP turns on, you have turn on delay and you have turn on out delay, both turn on at the same time. Okay, the countdown starts as soon they both turn on. This one's right now set for 10. This one is set for 5. So What this allows you to do is match if there's some form of a weird turn-on issue. Like, let's say, so for example, because it's an output turn-on, the sub-amp might take longer to turn on. And you're like, I really want everything to turn on at the same time. You can adjust the internal amplifier until you get them to both match up. All right. So you can do that, which is really neat. So unlike some other DSPs where the output delay doesn't turn on until the amplifier turns on. So it's like 5 seconds, then another 5 seconds. So that can be weird. Turn on hold time is the next one. And what that's for is when you turn the key off, the amplifiers are going to shut off, okay, whether it be an internal or external amplifier. But you may want the DSP to actually stay on. That's where you're getting your pop from. So this is going to hold the DSP on for that amount of time. So it can be there again, anywhere between 3 seconds till whenever you're done. So, you know, if you need to pop and you just can't fix the pop and you want to be a mile away, so you keep it on for 10 seconds. You walk away and then it'll turn off. And anyways, the whole idea is to not have a pop. But this is your turn off delay, so it'll keep that DSP on so you don't have to worry about it. The next is auto sense hold. So with the Blackbirds, they have the option to do obviously DC offset, but in some cases DC offset doesn't work. So you have signal sense, where it's going to be looking at the signal in order for it to turn on. Now the problem with that, which has always been the problem with that, is if it gets really quiet for a long period of time, it might shut the amplifier off because it's not seeing anything. There's nothing happening. So what this does is this adds a delay. So as soon as it senses that nothing there, it starts this countdown. Now, this can be default right now is 60 seconds. It can go all the way up to 120 seconds. So if you're one of those guys that has one of those really long, quiet intro songs that you're like, I had one yesterday when we were jamming out, listening to music. Okay. I was like, why is it was like, it was Metallica. And it was like they have that really long beginning. It was funny. Now, there's one other thing that kind of pertains to turn on, and it's located in the option panel, which is auto power down amplifier. This is very helpful when you're using something like Maestro or where you have a DC offset where the DC offset stays on for 3.5 minutes or something like that. What this does is this sees that the power is still coming in because you're using it, but it realizes that there's no signal coming because it has signal sense built into it. So it says, all right, listen, we're on for no reason. There's no sound coming in. If I check that box, what it'll do is it'll say, all right, there's nothing going on, guys. And so it'll automatically power down the amplifier so that it goes to the minimum current draw faster. So the amplifier just doesn't sit back there going, I'm ready. The nice thing is if it realizes it needs to turn back on, it will turn on so fast that you will not know that it was off.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool feature built into that. And this has been your Arc Audio DSP Quick Tips. Yay.
Very nice. That's crazy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
This next section is brought to you by the fine folks at Audio Control. We just got a bunch of Audio Control stuff in the other day. We talked about their boxes, and guess what? They brought us some boxes. So when I get back in Canada, we're going to take those things out. We're going to show you guys all the cool stuff that is in the boxes. But if you would like to find out more about the boxes right now, you're like, I don't want to wait. Head over to audiocontrol.com, and there you can check out all the pre-made boxes that they have for you in the 8s, 10s, and 12s, both in shallow and the deep sub. So space and spike are available to you, and they're gorgeous boxes. They all have grills. They all have, mixed materials. So they're pretty nice. So back to questions.
Okay. It looks like we have a little delay on the screen. It's what?
I don't know. I think our internet sucks.
All right.
What is a good setting for amp using front speakers with tweeter and coaxial wire together? So if by that you mean like a crossover, you're going to want to cross. So hopefully there's a passive crossover in there somewhere between the tweeter and the mid-range. That's important. You have to have that. What that passive crossover typically will be doing is providing a high pass for the tweeter, so it won't play really low, and a high pass for a high pass for the tweeter, a low pass for the mid-range. So the mid-range will not play up into the tweeter frequencies. And then your amplifier needs to give you a high pass for the overall system, which is for the mid-range. So typically we start those, depending on what we're doing, at about 80 hertz. And we kind of work up from there. As far as gain and stuff like that, you're typically going to gain for the lowest common denominator. Some passive crossovers have tweeter attenuation in them, which is really nice. So if you get in there and it's like the tweeter is just like blasting you and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't hear the mid bass at all, you can go and attenuate the tweeter down, thus making the mid bass perceived to be louder. So that is something that's helpful too. And depending on the radio you have, like a Kenwood has a shelf filter built into it that you can do the same thing internally in the radio. You can lower the volume on the tweeter, thus making the mid bass sound more prevalent. Gotta cook dinner.
Don't cook nothing, bro.
I mean, somebody's got to eat, right?
No. Why?
I don't know. What's up, Chris? Have a tutorial to set up
rear and front cameras in the aftermarket radios. Yeah.
I feel like we've done that before.
I mean, we do front cameras, rear cameras, dash cameras. We have videos on that. You just gotta search it. We have a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I guess what would be the question, really? Because I mean, the first
you want to know how, like what type of car.
So the first thing is the most important thing. All right, some things you need to know if you have adding a front and rear camera. First thing is you have to make sure that the camera has multi-camera input. Okay, meaning it has the radio. The radio. Yes. I'm sorry, the radio has multi-camera input. So you have to make sure that whatever radio you buy, there's a front camera input and a rear camera input. Secondly, do not assume because it's a front camera input that it has the ability to flip the image, okay? Because the cameras are made to face the rear, which means they are backwards, okay? So they flip the image. When you go to put the camera in the front, you have to have a camera that can make right, left, left, right, so it actually goes back to normal. If you don't
mirror setting,
if you don't buy the camera like that, then you're hoping the radio will have it. And I can tell you right now, most radios don't have that feature anymore to auto flip the camera. Okay, so that's the other thing you have to keep in mind. The next thing is on the front camera is finding a good place to put it. That is always the hardest part. Echo Master now has a universal camera that they make. It's their newest high res camera. That'll play on any radio, and it has all the mounts in the box. So you have like a fisheye, you have a square mount, you have a license plate mount, which makes it really nice because if you don't have an idea of how you're going to mount the camera, it comes with enough pieces to figure out some way to do it. But yeah, that's really about it. The other thing too is that you have to find a reverse trigger. So if you're doing a radio that doesn't have a smart harness, the reverse trigger is at the light in the back. So you're going to have to run a wire back there. The other thing, too, is do not use, no matter what crackhead thing you see online, do not use the reverse lights to power the camera. Run an accessory wire all the way up to the front, okay? Because you will not like that. The cars won't like it. The camera won't like it. That is the number one problem when people ask us, like, dude, my camera doesn't work. It's like, because you didn't run a power and ground, okay? And run a power and ground. Do not ground it in the back of the car. Take the ground all the way up to the radio. Because a lot of the times, for something of that low power consumption, that ground in the back is not a good enough ground to turn that thing on. So don't do that either. Okay. Same with the front. Run the front wire into the car. Okay.
Yeah.
Mike, I made it before halfway through. It's like hitting a new level in a video game. What's up, Mike?
What's up?
Love your show. A few years ago, you installed an Alpine Halo into a 2021 Camry. What interface harness did you use for that install? Thank you. Interface harness on that probably was going to be iData, because iData makes the interface to go into that. And I think Metra now makes a dash kit for that. So it's, yeah. Basically, the hierarchy of installation harnesses go to iData Link first, see if they have something for your car. And if they do, you're done. If they don't, it's typically pack, then Metra. Okay, but dash kit wise, it's iData, it's Metra. It's basically it. Most of the time it's Metra, just because iData doesn't make a lot of kits. Yep. Thoughts on front dash door speaker replacements in 2016 Sequoia non-JBL non-amplified currently. Just bought the 9907 XR, thinking of a setup like the Alpine S2 S69.
Yes.
You bought a Kenwood. Check out the 6902s.
Mm-hmm.
It comes with a 2.5-inch mid-range middler.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you'll get to keep that wider frequency response that you have in the front of the car. The Sequoia, I think is a 2.5. So I check out the 6902s. Those are really nice. You also have the Focal plug and plays that would probably fit in that. You can check. Go to focalinside.com.
Mm-hmm.
Hi guys, how's it going? It's all right. Hola amigos. I gotta text you, Jeff. Moving on. What about using reverse lights for trigger? No, because you still got to get you still got to get power back there. Okay, and there's no good power back there. It's a bad move. Trust me. This is one of those things where people overthink the hell out of it, and it's so easy just to. You got to run the RCA up front.
You have to run. So
you're running wires. Just run what you need. Typically, like we just did. This is a SC430 right here. Okay, it is This car does not have a smart harness that gives us reverse wire. So Fernando runs a reverse wire to the back, and he also runs power, ground, and RCA. So we're on 3, and that's it. It all tape it into a bundle, and it comes up front to me, and I connect it to the radio, and guess what?
It's no issues.
No issues, no problem, no drop cameras, no nonsense.
So before, I used to just run it, and always have some issues because of you got the ground from the chassis or something like that, and it was an issue always. It was like, no.
Yeah, we do hundreds of
just
cameras.
Run everything.
Problem solved.
It's
amazing.
Not really, but
I know.
I hate backup cameras. So.
They love you, though. I do enjoy the convenience of Bluetooth, but the Uconnect 3 is bogus. Compressed all the hell.
Compresses.
Our modules on the way, or should I give my 2019 Ram a new head unit? I would, if you could put a new head unit in there, get a new head unit, because unless it's the 12-inch screen, in which case you can.
Right.
But, I don't remember. Wasn't the 19? Wasn't that the one that we had a hard time trying to find parts for? Yeah, I don't know. You have to check iData on that. See
if you have the 12-inch screen.
Well, if you have a 12-inch, you just.
But if you have the regular one,
right?
But change it.
Well, if you can, but there again.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on.
What is the parts?
There you go.
Hang on.
Hide the
Hide it.
Yeah. So there you go. That's where you find parts, guys. So that's all of them. So take a screenshot and then start doing your research.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Matthew.
Hi.
Hi.
How do you wire up a kicker key 200.4 and 501 using high-level inputs? Do you just Y the front or rear high-level inputs to the 501? 2022 Ford Maverick non-amplified system. As a matter of fact, yes. So here's how you would wire that system up. First thing is 2022 Ford Maverick. I'm heading over to pack-audio.com. I'm going to get the LGH Ford harness for my car, which is a T harness that they make specifically for that car. So I don't have to cut nothing. I can just pull the radio out, plug this harness in. We've done a couple videos on it here lately. It gives you everything you need. It's all plug and play, super cool. Then I'm going to go off to a set of LGD greens, audio control LGD greens. Those are the 20s. Those are the load resistors I'm going to need to put onto my Maverick. Now, this is where the question comes in. Are we using the kicker key as a front stage upgrade only, meaning tweeters and mid-range, or if we're doing front and rear? If we're doing front stage only, that means the rear speakers are going to stay plugged in. So then I don't have to worry about putting LGDs on those. I only have to put it on the front. output. So at that point, I'm just going to have a white set and a gray set coming out, 4 wires, positive, negatives, into my LGD greens. And then I'm going to run those off to both of the amplifiers. Okay, so that's going to go into the input on the key and also into the input, wiring them off to the 501. And that's it. On the key, there's a switch dependent that you tell it. Do you want it to be, 2-channel input? And you flick it. Now, if you're going to do front and rear, same thing. Now we're just going to bring the purple and green in. We're going to run those through their own load resistors. They're going to come back. The green and purple are just going to go to the key 200.4 for rear. The white and grays are still going to be wide off to the 200.4 and the 500.1. I like to use the keys remote turn on output because the remote turn on is an input or an output. So if it's high level, it becomes an output, which is how you're going to be running it. I run that into my 501 and I turn off the auto sense on my 501 so that it's having the key turn it on and it is not using its internal DC offset. That way the key can turn on, the amp can turn on, and we don't get any pop or anything like that. So it's one controls the other. But that's really about it. We do have a ton of videos walking you through that, like in F-150s and stuff like that. Just like F-150 key installs, because it's a very popular thing that we do. I want to install a Sony XS163ES
Series
mobile
6.5.
E-Series 6.5 three-ways on a Mustang 2020 with BO, but Crutchfield says mounting height don't fit, and they are correct. They won't fit. The 2.5 is too big to go in there, or 3.5 is too big to go into the door. The door in the BO system is very narrow, and the way the factory speaker is designed, so if you pull the factory speaker out and you look at it, it's actually countersunk into its mount. So it comes right up next to the door panel in its current mount. So if you take your speaker and you mount it and it fits in the mount, it's like, oh, this is awesome, it fits. No, it doesn't, because as soon as you put the door panel on, the door panel sits right on top of the speaker. So when speaker goes to move, hits the door panel. We found that out the hard way. So now you have to take the whole factory bracket off, and you have to make a thinner bracket, which is just a straight 1/4-inch piece. So you're losing that mounting depth. So the only way to get mounting depth back is to take a big hole saw and cut a big hole in the door.
Careful.
Which you would never do, because that would structurally destroy the door. So that's why they're telling you it won't fit.
You say finally they good.
Yeah, that's one time they got it right. There's very few speakers that fit there. Yeah. Typically what we're doing, like the Focal makes a set, Morel makes a set, because Morel, you can do the shallow mount. They're 2-inch or 2.5-inch shallow mount in the Virtus Carbon Ultras 3-way. The other thing too is that the 6.5-inch bracket that they sell you is too thick for most 6.5s. So the brackets you need to make for a Mustang are all 1/4-inch thick. Anything past that, they're going to hit.
They're going to hit. Thanks. I'm going to run front and rears.
There you go. Perfect.
Oh, man.
Happy April Fools, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rich.
You should go just fronts.
That's okay.
My opinion.
It's okay. No one wants your opinion.
Yeah, I know. You guys get a manufacturer sponsor your snacks.
I know, right? Dude, you're not kidding.
I know a guy that he can talk to his boss. His name is Elias. I'm going to talk to him, see if he wants
these snacks have been brought to you by the fine folks at Ground Zero and HKI.
HKI. Yeah.
Have you ever used the heated thread inserts that you use a soldering iron with? It's supposed to be real good with plastic since it melts the plastic into the insert threads. Yeah, so on this install here, we use them all the time, by the way, but on this install, you can see there's a little, this is an M2 screw, and behind each one of these that holds this M2 screw in is one of those brass thermal inserts. So every one of these plastic pieces has one behind it.
Even if you turn the amp rack, you can still see them from the amplifier right there.
So like there's holding the amplifier into the amp rack. So that's there. We use them all the time.
Yep,
they're fantastic.
Yeah,
I will say you can buy a couple. we've figured out, we've bought several different versions of the soldering iron adapters. We finally found the one that works the best. I don't know if they're up on DNF Tool Drawer. I should probably get them up there now that we've figured out all this. But they are. The other day we did the new logos on the door panels on the JBL Tundra we just did. We took off the JBL logo and we used M2 thermal certs so that we could screw it in from behind because we went to a 1/4 inch. So we're using an M2 3 millimeter deep piece and 1/4 inch is 6 millimeter.
Yeah.
So we were able to go in, and then we have a really tiny screw that goes into it. So yeah, it's actually pretty cool. But yes, they're
so now
they're
finally
awesome.
We're gonna have some logos to sell, guys. So please
slow down,
make
killer.
your orders.
Slow it down.
Make sure what kind of manufacturer or logo you want for your car. And we're gonna send
pay
it
no
to you.
attention to the little man off to the right. Hello, party people. What's up, Mary Lou? How you doing? Happy Monday. Says you. How dare you? They're on the tool drawer. Just saw them yesterday.
Yeah.
I put them up. Hot damn.
Very nice.
So they're probably in the... You know what?
Very nice.
I mean, I could have just, done... I think they're right here. Oh, no.
Where?
Hold on.
Rivets.
No, I think they went into this page. No? Okay. Are they on the rivet?
Plastics.
Page? Huh.
Really?
I don't think they're on plastics either. There's the tool. Yeah, they are there. Yeah. Whoa, not that one.
Whoa.
Sorry about that. It's this one. Yeah, so they are on DNF Tool Drawer. These aren't the tips that I need to switch these tips out, though, because the tips we use are a little bit different. If I have time tonight, I will do that. And these are just variety packs. Like, we buy tons of different, there are so many different kinds of these things now. Like, I have bags and bags and bags of totally different, because you can buy them with collars, without collars, which makes them shorter. You can buy them long. The long ones are nice because if you're trying to put 2 pieces of plastic together, you can use the long to help you melt the 2 pieces of plastic together to line it up. There's all kinds of tricks you can do with them. But yeah, they are fantastic. But yeah. Anyways. What kind of screws do you use to mount amps to the 1/4 inch ABS?
Same thing.
Threaded or self-tapping. So depending on what we're doing, like that is a display, we need it to be perfectly flat on the back. So we have a variety of different things we use. Self-tapping, never. Anytime you go into ABS with any plastic that you're drilling into, you should always pre-tap the hole. I mean, you should pre-drill the hole. ABS has a tendency to not drill properly with a screw. It just kind of balls it up and balloons it or spreads it. It doesn't drill through it properly. So you have to pre-drill the hole going into ABS 100% of the time. Same thing with acrylic. If you ever try to go in acrylic has to be almost within a hair of what you're trying to put into it.
Yeah.
Depending on what we're doing with the ABS, sometimes we'll just tap the ABS. So we have all our taps, threaded taps, drill bit taps to go into them. Nothing smaller than an M4 though. So M4, M5 are the best. Now, depending on what we're putting, if we're going, it just really depends on what is going and where. Sometimes under the hood where we use a lot of the 1/4 inch ABS, then we will put some form of an insert in there. So we have the kind that screw in the inserts that screw in, and those will take an M5. Those are really nice. The M before the number is just how big the screw is. Like an M2 is smaller than an M5. If you guys are like, I use standard 1/4 20.
What's up, Mel?
What's up, peoples? I don't think there's anything to see in the install bay that's changed much. Yeah.
Just what you see right there. You know?
I mean, it's
toolboxes.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything. I mean, we got a lot of work to do. Next is up front because we have to. I mean, we're going to change the install bay sometime this year because I want to get rid of everything that is over this way. So all the little bins and all the crap that hangs on the wall, I don't want it there anymore. So, all right. Just built my first amp rack after watching a ton of your videos. It came out excellent, even though I didn't have any special tools. Thank you for all the knowledge.
Well, if you like it, don't forget to share it on the 12 Clean Wire Club.
For sure.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And
And that's on Facebook. So.
It is. It is. Boom.
Boom.
Yeah. Thank you, Fang. Yeah. Hey guys, this next segment was brought to you by the fine folks at Moscone-America.com. What you just saw, what I just brought up to you, and you were just like, oh, look at all that cool. That is the 6 to 8. They make an 8 to 10, and they make an 830, they make a 430, and soon, we're going to have the new Picos, new Pico 8 to 10, little tiny guys that are so cool and sexy. If you'd like to keep up to date on everything that's cool from Moscone, head over to Moscone-America.com. Yeah. Boom. Next step, DSP or subwoofer?
Shoot,
I was gonna say.
I don't know.
Why did you get rid of it?
I don't even know what I.
Well, I was gonna say.
Hang on. I'll hang right there.
Okay. I was gonna say we never read it. Next step, DSP or subwoofer. Head unit is an ILX 650, JL 400. Drive front speakers, Infinity 6x in the front doors. KFs, in the dash. Alpine 300. Driving Infinity components in rear door. I'm gonna say subwoofer. I feel like without a subwoofer, I mean, you got a radio, the radio ILXW 650. It's not my go-to for like EQ pack wise. It's okay. It's not great. But I feel without a subwoofer, it's not, like having a DSP. You're not gonna like, you need all the components there. So you need tweeters, mid bass, rear speakers. You need all the stuff there before you get a DSP. So I would definitely look at getting a subwoofer first.
Yeah.
And you have a head unit. You don't need like you could do a simple DSP. You could do something like a DSR1 or something like that. That's a little bit easier, because it'll plug right in and do its thing. But yeah, definitely subwoofer first. Just finish off the sound.
Very nice.
Is it possible to amplify factory 8-speaker BO system and just upgrade? Wait, hold on. Is it possible to amplify factory 8-speaker BO system and just upgrade sub 2022 F-150? This is one of those weird questions that it's a complex question. Okay, it's not like the simple answer question. It's not like we can just go yes.
No.
It isn't. So the basic question is why? Okay, why would we want to do that? Okay, so and here's why. So the speakers that are in there are not high power handling speakers. All right, they are designed to work with the BO system, which is very efficient and doesn't have a lot of power, but it makes those things get loud pretty quick. Okay, they are not going to get any louder, which is the main problem with like a BO system. Like by the time I get it to where I want to listen to it, it sounds like crap. All right, changing out the amplifier isn't going to really fix that because they're not going to get much louder. Okay, we can limit their performance by upping their crossover points, but they're not going to get louder. So you can do it, but that's why I said why, because you're not going to benefit from it. So at that point, it would just make more sense to leave them alone and add a subwoofer and just have more bass. But then the problem you run into is now you have a ton of bass, your mids and highs are lacking. So it goes back to the original problem. The mids and highs aren't loud enough. So there's a lot of bad ways to deal with these systems, but the reality of it is there's only really one good way to deal with a premium audio system like this, which is to just take the premium audio system out and put a better system in. Otherwise, you're not gaining anything. Now, if you were like, all right, so I don't have budget to do said craziness, so what do I do instead? So you got 8 speakers. Each one of those is active. Like each channel on that is active. So now I need a big 8-channel amplifier plus subwoofer, and it's like, oh, wow. Or a 6-channel, depending. It's a 2022 F-150 BO. So that's a 6-channel amplifier plus sub. So now we're going to need a 6-channel DSP amplifier. Actually, it has a center channel too. So if we take the center channel out, then you'll be missing because so now it's like I almost have to keep the center channel because I'm not replacing speakers with louder, better speakers to. So okay, I mean it never works out. It never does. I mean, it's sad, I know, but I would shy away from it. It's 2017, non-amplified. Put a new radio in it first. Okay, that was weird. Sorry about that. Don't know what happened. That was just totally been great. Hey, but it's better now.
All right. So
okay, I have a 2017 F-150 non-amplified. Okay, if you have a 2017 F-150 non-amplified,
no. This is another question.
I know, but whatever the question is it needs a new radio. So what is the question? Because that's the answer.
Just slow it down, bro. Slow it down.
Okay, my subwoofer randomly turns on even when my truck is off. What do you think the problem might be? It's a basic subwoofer setup, and I used inexpensive active LOC from Recoil Audio that auto detects signal to turn on, and also the blue LGDs from Audio Control and a smaller Pioneer amp. You need a better high-level, low-level adapter. That's really what it is. So you need a better high-level, low-level adapter.
You need a better radio.
And you need a radio would fix the problem. Really, at the end of the day, the radio would
it.
fix the problem. Like I said, the radio is the problem. The reason why it's doing it has nothing to do with any of the equipment you have. I mean, it's an inexpensive high-level to low-level adapter, which a newer vehicle needs a better high-level to low-level adapter. I don't care what anybody says. It does. Okay?
I don't care.
It's all bullshit. But the reality of it is a modern car turns on and off all night long. A Ford is ridiculous. Like when we're sitting here at nighttime, like I'll be working on something late and we have a Ford in the garage. It is like having a ghost in the building. That thing wakes up and shuts down all night long. It is the creepiest thing ever. When it does that, depending on what circuit is doing a check at that point, it could activate the stereo. And now if you have a crappy high level to low level adapter that is allowing feedback to come through, then your subwoofer will sit there and go, blah! And then shut off. You'll be like, what the frick just happened? So iData makes a wonderful dash kit for that. So I would definitely recommend getting any radio, put it in the dash, solves your problems. But I don't agree, Mike. We can agree to disagree. I did that Super Duty with sub. Actually sounded great. I don't think so. I disagree. So while we're sitting here, the system just rebooted. Which is fine because it seems we have a better signal now that the show's almost over.
Exactly.
So,
now is no delay. Wow.
Yeah, it's so fantastic. All Fords are haunted. 100%, right? Dude, when I get out of my car, it like 2 seconds, like I'll be walking around, I'll shut my door, and if I have my top down, I think it's locking the armrest.
Okay.
Which is weird because it makes this noise like, and everything just sounds like it's locking. And I'm like, but it's not. So it's so strange.
Where you going to
go? Nobody. I just go inside and forget about it. What's up from Brooklyn? Epicenter sweep and wide. Can you explain, Mr. Dean, please? Sweep. All right, so when you're looking at the instructions for the epicenter, it gives you like its frequency response, meaning it goes from X to Y. I don't remember what the numbers are. So sweep is where that center point is at. So an epicenter is designed to do an octave shift, meaning if you're trying to get more bass at 50 hertz, you want to set the sweep to 100 because an octave down from 100 is 50. If you want more bass at 40, you would set it to 80, and so on and so on. 30 would be 60. And I think 60 is the lowest it goes. Mm-hmm. And I think it goes all the way up to like 100 and something. All right, so sweep does that. Now the problem is you can't physically see that unless you have some form of an electrical RTA that you can plug in your RCAs to it. Like we've showed it on a graph on an RTA before where you can watch it go. Woo, woo. Okay, now the other one, which why did we take away? What was, I can't remember what the other part is called.
The sweep and wide.
All right, wide. Sorry, it's
okay.
Wide is the Q. So once we get the number we want figured out, how much influence over sound to the left and right of our new focus point do we want it to affect? So if we want a very narrow cue, okay, or very narrow wide, it's just going to give you more of a punch. If you take it and go wide, full wide open, then it's going to affect everything, and it's just going to be like this explosion. That's when you get the subs that go, okay, which could be good. I don't really know. So those are how those two act. Now, 12 o'clock is right about the sweet spot, or somewhere left or right of 12 o'clock. The same is true with the width. It's one of those things. They could actually just make it a magic box with the two right at 12 o'clock, and most people would be pretty happy with it. If you're at one of the extremes, you're really pinpointing. Now, the only time where the extremes work really well is if you're using it as a high level to low level adapter. And the reason why is because a lot of the times the factory signal does not have any, it like rolls off at 80 hertz. Like there's a high pass crossover and it's just like, okay, so if I set it more to the extreme, that's going to fill up that hole and push everything to the lower frequencies and give me better bass. So,
Luis, I don't know. I have to probably ask Ken if there is something wrong with the app on the Android side of it. It is?
I think there is.
I mean, but that's the Android side of it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just Android.
Yo le pregunto y te dejo saber.
Those damn Android phones, man. The guys.
Cómprate un iPhone, brother.
Hold on. Thank you for the response to the question. I will be stopping by soon in Wesley Chapel. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Did you pull another one up?
Yes, I did.
I'm installing a double din in a Nissan Cube with the 4.3-inch screen, non-nav, but has Rockford sub. Okay. Should I get Maestro, or is there a cheaper way to keep steering wheel controls and rear cam? Thanks. Just buy the Maestro.
Dude, it's going to be so much easier.
I mean, what are we...
Your live is going to be so much easier.
Don't buy fast food for a week. Or any, like, skip Starbucks for a week. I don't know. Whatever the one vice that you have that you enjoy, just skip it for a week and that'll pay the difference. And your life will be you'll be like, this was totally worth it. Think of it like Lent. You gave it up and better things came from it, right? Isn't that how it works?
That's how it goes?
I feel that's how it goes. Hey, I'd like to thank the show sponsors tonight, Arc Audio with the DSP settings. We hope you guys like that. They're getting their love right now for that. So thank you, Arc Audio. They are actually one of the newest sponsors brought onto the show. So they just signed up. So they're going to be here at least for the next 3 months, hopefully longer. We have the good friends at Focal and Wasconi. Of course, make sure to have their corresponding website. And as always, audio control.
Yay.
You can't control me. So yeah, that's great. Thank you guys so much for participating. Update on the schedule. I will be out of town. I'll be in Canada. So for any of you guys who are going to be in Canada at the CMA, I'll be in Toronto. The man from Toronto. Anyways, that sucked. That was so bad.
That was so bad.
I never even finished watching it. Anyways, I'll be in Toronto. Fernando will be here holding the fort down, making sure everything gets done. But that means we won't be doing a Saturday, probably not a Monday show. We'll let you know. Just keep an eye on the feed. We'll see how it goes. But that doesn't mean I won't be popping in periodically just to see what's going on in Canada. I can't promise you anything, as Fernando says. But you never know. It could be a surprise.
Yes, there you go.
Randomly stopping in and going, hey, look, it's Dean.
Just keep an eye on the Instagram side just in case, something happens.
But the nice thing is don't worry, you guys. You're going to have plenty of content for the rest of the week. So everything will be good there. We're going to finish up the Rockford install as well as on Monday. You're going to get the full video for everyone to do their cool stuff. So we'll see how the rest of the week plays next week.
Thank you, guys.
We'll deal with it then. But that's all we got. You guys go forth, be merry, have a wonderful week, be positive, do all that, get your dog spayed, neutered, and whatever turns you on. We'll see you later next time.
Bye.
Bye.